production. And class based on money is another way they try to keep us separate, like they try to keep us separate based on race, sex, national origin, religion, and a whole other bunch of things. Another thing that goes along with that middle class is what Utah used to call the blame pattern. And anytime things go wrong, we're trained to look down the social scale to people at the bottom that are stealing a few bucks here and there from the system, and we never look up to the people at the top who are stealing a whole hell of a lot of money from us. And so today we're going to have a little bit of music. People can get a chance to meet each other and talk. This is not about political parties. It's not about candidates. It's about issues, because we believe that the people in this country together have the intelligence, the creativity, and the courage to come up with solutions that the government and corporations will not or cannot come up with. We do have that ability, and we will argue and we will talk, and we may make some mistakes, but we will solve the problem that our leaders can't or won't. Thank you very much for being here.
Pretty soon we will have a stack list for people.
Yeah, well, I mean, this guy was just a migrant worker. I go from town to town. Police make it hard. Wherever I go, I ain't got no home.
They're all good. Yeah, they're all good. You know each other. Anybody who wants the stack list, get your name put on there. You can speak. Oh.
United, never be defeated.
Like you told me, there's no reason to come today. That's just stupid. Okay, I disagree. But we need to agree, even though we're we're not the same at all.
At 1,000,000 feet and try. There's Rich.
Then I have one local gripe. My specific gripes, I'm against the military-industrial complex growing ever bigger. I think we need to turn that around and spend some of that money on things other than more bullets and bombs. I'm against the insurance industry's control of almost all of our lives. I can't turn it up any, but I'll get closer. I'm against the military-industrial complex. I think we need to curtail it. I'm against the insurance industry. There are several kinds. We have to buy automobile insurance if we drive. We have to buy medical insurance if we breathe. Just a lot of insurances that need to be. The medical insurance, we could eliminate that with a single payer system, as you well know. I'm against any form of lobbying. I think it should be outlawed. Even though I have a close family member who was a member of Congress in our family. In any case, the only one other thing I want to say, there was an earlier comment being made, or was made, about the city being in negotiations with the artists and musicians. I want to say those negotiations have been going on since the year 2000 and before. I've been a big part of that. I think that somehow we need to take over the city commission and turn around the laws against real artists selling in the plaza, real entertainers performing here and some places down in the historic district. We need that. They should be brought back. A couple of the city commissioners are willing to talk about it. It needs to be done now. That's all I have.
Good man. Good man.
All right, so this is actually complaints about how loud it, or how it's not loud enough. Is everybody in favor of just switching to the people's mic?
Woo! Mic check!
So if anybody does not know, the people's mic is we speak in short sentences or short fractions of a sentence, and then the crowd repeats it as loud as they can so that everyone can hear it. So,
do I get my 2 minutes over?
all right. Like I said, we're switching to people's mic. Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Okay, our next speaker is John Foster.
Okay, our next speaker is John Foster!
3 to 4 words, please. 3 to 4 words.
Well, I don't know if that's going to exactly fit my style, but I'll give it my best shot.
Well, I don't know if that's exactly best style, but I'll give my best shot. Give it your best shot.
Let me ask that we not use the mic check method of my speech. I have prepared a speech quite thoughtful, and I hope to put it forward.
Put the mic up against your mouth.
Speak louder.
We come together on this occasion to support the movement called Occupy Wall Street. Yet, even as we come together, we've got to ask among ourselves, who are we? Who or what are we for or against? What are we seeking to change? And what do we want our government to do? We are the Americans that Wall Street has abused and forgotten. As Wall Street is being cut up like so many pieces of pie to be shipped about the globe, we come together to occupy Wall Street. We are here to ensure that we, the American people, get our fair share of that great American pie. We represent people dispossessed of their jobs and homes, people dispossessed of lifetime investments, and people dispossessed of the mom-and-pop businesses that were systematically bankrupted. We represent the people here today that once made this nation so great. We are not against anybody. We just want our fair share. We seek a correction to an unjust system that has economically conquered this nation. In a world of economic warfare, many well-known American company names are no longer American. Instead, they have moved offshore and joined the ranks of the New World Order of global corporations. From offshore, they act in trusts that would normally be illegal stateside, and in trust, they seek to make us a lesser colony to their parenthood. They took quasi-legal ownership of the Federal Reserve, printing our money without backing of gold, silver, or real property. That money financed an unjust Wall Street buyout. They raided our stocks. They stole our Social Security nest egg. With deliberate intent, they keep oil scarce and prices high. And who takes the place of our mom and pops now? Is it the mega store? Is it the restaurant chain? Is it the supermarket brand name? Sorry, but they're all shipping our profits offshore. Global corporations don't have the same interests that our moms and pops have. We are therefore among the forgotten, silently conquered and cast out from the economic loop. Are we to remain among that untouchable class called unemployed that plagues the earth? Or are we one class above that to be indentured to a 40-year home mortgage and wage slave salaries. Something is wrong on Wall Street, and we stand to correct it. We mourn equally for those Americans who have lost their jobs and homes as we do those who have lost their retirement fortunes. We're not against anybody, but we stand to change the system and restore justice for everybody. Although we call for change, we are a leaderless group. The idea was to allow people on all sides of the issues to speak. In that light, I must say I cannot speak for the whole group, but I am honored to be able to speak my own mind. I believe the change we need is a new deal. It's time to bust the banks, bust the trusts, and bust open a new deck of cards. Deal to us Americans a new hand in life. Give us okay, a new deal should require citizens, not corporations, to own real property and stocks. Give every American a home asset fund and an individual retirement account to replace Social Security. Give every individual an equal start in life, unlimited liberty to our upward mobility, and give truthful security to our retirement. I want to thank you for listening to me, and I hope we enjoy the music and the festivities. Thank you very much.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Our next speaker
Our next speaker
is Ed Slavin.
is Ed Slavin.
Robert Kennedy said, "It is not enough. It is not enough to allow dissent.
It is not enough to allow dissent.
We must demand it.
We must demand it.
For there is much to dissent from."
For there is much to dissent from.
Our next speaker is Corey Wilborn.
Corey Wilborn.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Corey.
My name is Corey.
And I am regional organizer for the American Civil Liberties Union. I am proud to stand here with this group. The ACLU knows that dissent is patriotic. We stand behind your First Amendment right to peacefully assemble and protest. And I'm very happy to be here with you guys. I have protester rights guides so that you are prepared for the protest. Thank you. Our next speaker is Steve Fulmer.
It is wonderful to assemble and to exercise our freedom of speech. It is a great beginning to a great cause. If we do not move and we do not act, corporate America will own everything that we care about. The food, they'll set the prices on the food. They'll set the prices on the water. Farmers will go extinct. It'll be corporations raising your food. We the people, I know, it already is. We deserve a more equitable society. We must care about everyone.
We must care about everyone.
The spirit of liberty
Spirit of liberty
is a compassion to our brothers.
is a compassion to our brothers.
And that's all I want to say
And
today.
sisters. Our next speaker is Jeff Sika.
First off, I want to thank everyone for coming out today. The turnout's wonderful. The mix of people we have here is representative of who we are. The elderly that are here, the kids that are here, the young people. It's their future that we're talking about. The gentlemen who spoke before me, all of them, they did their homework. They're educated men. I'm a working stiff. I've been on both sides. I've worked for corporations like DuPont, and I've worked in pizza kitchens. All right? They're not all evil, but they all do need to be on the same page. What we need to do, this is just the beginning, we need to have the youth of this country get past their apathy, their indifference, because it's their future that we are discussing. Basically, it's a matter of standing together, not of not letting our occupation die down. It's a movement this country hasn't seen in decades. And it's at least 30 years overdue. Once again, thank you all for coming out. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Our next speaker is Christian Tomaselli.
All right, well. As the youth, I am also fighting for future youth. Youth that are maybe not born, but deserve to be born in a world that's beautiful. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. And to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. Pretty much requires them, impels them to separate. It's time.
Our next speaker is Marjorie Louder.
Hello. I'm Marjorie Louder. And my opinion is the wealthiest 1% needs to make jobs for the 99% that help them get their wealth.
Our next speaker is B. Duran.
I'd like to thank the 99% represented here in St. Augustine.
Represented here in St. Augustine.
By the police and the fire department.
By the police and the fire department.
They recently took a cut in pay. And I want to know when the 1% of St. Johns County will do the same. Recently, someone bastardized, that's the only word I can use, a John Lennon song. And I would like to make a suggestion for our mantra. All we are saying is give us a chance. All we are saying is give us a chance. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Chris Renum.
Hi. I'm AFL-CIO. Thank you. We don't get that reception every place. I have no prepared remarks. I want to say organized labor is proud to stand behind the youth of America. We're proud to stand next to and fight with the youth of America. This movement started because of the youth of America, and I applaud them. I come from the 60s. A lot of us here come from the 60s and the 50s. When we marched, when we spoke out, it was our fathers and mothers and older uncles and aunts and our older neighbors, the adults in those days that I remember who stood behind me and helped me fight my fights in those days. We've come a long way, and as I said, I'm proud to stand with the youth of America. Anything you need, we want to give it to you. But fight. Thank you.
Solidarity forever. Our next speaker is Ben Bird.
Honor our troops. Mourn our dead. And end the damn war.
Our next speaker is Vanessa Friedman.
This is what democracy looks like! Yay! It's been a long time since I've been able to do this. It makes me real happy. And let me just say this. If we lose our middle class, we lose everything. This country was built on the middle class. On the backs of the working class. Don't let it get taken away. One last thing. According to the UN and the World Bank, the U.S. rates below Egypt and Tunisia in income inequality. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Our next speaker
is Roger Jolly.
Roger Jolly.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Roger Jolly.
I'm Roger Jolly.
I had a great sign all ready to come. And I realized that this is the sign that I had to bring down here today. I worked for free speech along with hundreds of others. And playing this guitar got me arrested on a secret warrant. The local corporations, in league with the government, using the police as their private force, have worked for 16 years to end free speech in this town. I am proud to stand here with you, the 99%. And say to Wall Street, to Washington, and to the government of St. Augustine, we are the 99%, and we want our government back. God bless you all.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Our next speaker. Is Kathleen Cole.
All we're asking for is a level playing field. So we can get up off our knees. And stand up, America.
I'd like to get in and say a few words myself. They say that we should all go out and get jobs. Well, I say, most of us are trying to find one. I had friends who came into this town looking to settle down. They could not find a job. So they sold jewelry. That they made themselves. And they got slapped with $600 in fines for selling jewelry on a street where they were legally allowed to. And they could not pay it. And so they had to leave town. And now they have no clue where they're going to go. They were just trying to make an honest living. To get a place to live. To have some money in their pockets. And they were driven out of town. Told that they could not be here. What has this country come to? Our next speaker. Zachary Silva.
Hello, I'm Zachary Silva. I didn't come prepared to speak today. And frankly, if you don't mind me saying a bad word here, I'm scared shitless. All right, but I will and I must speak. For I, like you, know that there has been great injustice done.
For I, like you, know there has been great injustice done. That is why I stand here with you today. That's why I stand here with you today. In solidarity and support of this occupation. In solidarity and support of this occupation. I'd like to tell you all. That they say. That the youth do not care. That they are inactive. And complacent. In politics in the world. Well, I stand here to change that. And I, at the age of 18, and taking my constitutional right, to run for the county commission. Our next speaker is Renee Mintz.
I'd like to thank everybody that spoke, and I'm so glad that I'm following this young man because what I want to say is that before the election, make sure that you go out and register. Because speaking here is wonderful. But speaking at the ballot is even better. So make sure you go out, register, and vote.
But don't let voting be all that you do. Our next speaker is Doris Oxford.
Well, I didn't really plan to do this, but here I am. I recently got truly pissed off by reading Fortune magazine. They had the 400 top billionaires listed in their pages. Walton's kids each got $20 billion. $20 billion. Now, I'm sorry, but that is truly obscene. And they got most of that money by shipping things into the United States. And we've been supporting other countries, not us. And we're in real trouble in this country, and it's because it's that kind of thinking. And I really appreciate your chance to do this. Thank you.
Our next speaker is this gentleman here. Mike Kilroy.
Damn, y'all look good. Hey, I got a message to the 1%. Violence is the last resort of the incompetent. Peace.
My name is Millie Tricola, and I am up to here with hearing how if we give corporations and wealthy tax breaks on their capital gains and whatever, that they'll make jobs. We've been hearing this since, that they will, if we keep giving corporations and the wealthy tax breaks, they will create jobs.
They will create jobs.
That idea started under Ronald Reagan in the late 70s. And it hasn't worked then, and it's not going to work now. Spread the wealth.
Spread the wealth.
Our next speaker.
Our next speaker
is Claire Watson.
Claire Watson.
Hi. I was reading the Goldman Sachs quarterly report the other day.
I was reading the Goldman Sachs quarterly report the other day.
And saw an interesting entry. Excess cash liquidity.
Excess cash liquidity.
164 billion.
164 billion.
I rest my case.
I rest my case.
Our next speaker.
Is
Roberta Huffridge.
And I'm a nervous wreck. I'm a woman of few words, and this is it.
And this is it.
The love of money.
The love of money
is the root of all kinds of evil.
Is the root of all kinds of evil.
And that's from 1 Timothy 6:10.
That's from 1 Timothy 6:10.
Let's support the needy, not the greedy.
Let's support the needy, not the greedy.
Our next speaker. Michi.
I just want to say, I love all of you guys. And peace to all of you guys. And I have a message for the 1%. Fuck you, pay me!
Thank you. Our next speaker. Is Peyton Barrett.
I just want to say that we are the 99%. And we run this shit.
Our next speaker. Is Charlie. I'm a Vietnam veteran. This is for all the brothers and sisters of mine who served in Vietnam. Revolution! It's either 1776 or George Orwell's 1984. Mic check! We will now move into our General Assembly meeting.